Hi there friends, this is Chris with PeaceOmind Art and Crafts. And today I'm going to continue on working on my sewing books. I haven't been pretty busy, so I haven't had a chance to work on these for a while. So this will be like part 3 of the last 2 videos that I put up. The part 1 was making the ephemera, which I have in this handy pouch here. And part 2 is making the covers. So now that I have those 2 things, and like I said in the first couple of videos, I have linked more specific instructions on how actually to start the making a book. So this basically is one that has the cover, and it has the tie on the side. And you open it up, and it has the pages, has 6 felt pages, of course the front and the back. So now we're going to start putting some of our ephemera in here that we have been working on part 1 of this video. So let's see what we have, and we'll just kind of go through each one, and I'll just take you along with me as I do this, so that you can see how it progresses. You can do this any way you want, in any, basically you want to get your book together first, and then put the pages, sew the pages in, and then from there you can start working on your cover. And anytime you want, you can start working on the ephemera that you're going to put in here. You can do it one by one as you go, or you can get a bunch ready to go in your book. That's what I like to do. That way it seems like it doesn't take quite as long. And then usually I wait till the end, and then I put in the pins and scissors and that kind of thing. Okay, so let's start at the start here. I'm going to make a pocket for this. Now I have already placed on my ties, so if I hadn't and I wanted the ties to come from the inside, then I would put my ties on, and then I would somehow probably make my a pocket here that would cover over the tie. Like maybe let's see, what could I use for a pocket? I have some scissor fabric here. See, I was going to use this to make a pocket. I probably would, and I wanted to cover a tie, I probably would bring it up farther up here, and either use a bigger piece that went all the way down here, or I could use this piece. It wouldn't matter. Make it kind of like it could be even a belly band here. But I do think I like that as a pocket. Since I already have my tie on, I'm going to use that as a pocket in there. And it's kind of flimsy, so I think I might back it with the backing fabric, or excuse me, backing paper, which I will use. Let's see. Let me use a piece of this. I'm just going to use art glitter glue to glue this down. Since that will handle it, I'm gluing fabric to paper. If I was using or gluing fabric to fabric, or something to the fabric, then I would use the fabric tag. So basically I used the 3-in-1 a lot in these sewing books, because I'm gluing fabric to fabric, or paper or fabric to felt. And when you glue down to the felt, you'll need this. This is by Beacon. It's either 3-in-1 or it's also called fabric tack. And I have found that they're the same thing. So if you get either one, you'll be good. And this is the only thing that I have found that will work really well on felt. If you find something else, then put it in the comments for everybody else to know. That'd be great. So, like I said, I've been really busy these days working on Etsy orders, which is great. I love the support you guys are giving me in my Etsy shop and in watching my videos, subscribing. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd love it if you would do that and hit the like button. That helps me out with the YouTube people. Okay. And I'm going to cut this. This is a little bit off, so I'm going to try to even it up as I cut it. Okay, then I'm going to put it on here. I don't want it to go all the way out to the edges because there's really no need for that. I just want it to go right to here where the stitching is. And then again, I don't want to go clear into the seam of the binding here. So I'm gonna give it a pencil and mark it where I want to cut it. And then I'll cut it so that pencil mark doesn't show. Okay, I could probably save this for this little snippet for a tag or something later on. Okay. Which way do I want it? This way. This is still a little bit ragged on this edge. Uneven, I should say, not ragged. I'll turn it this way and cut it on this side. Maybe that'll get it more even. No, not really. I suppose I could just keep cutting away until it gets all of the everything cut off. Hopefully this won't do it this time. Okay, I think that's good enough. As you all know, I'm not at all a perfectionist, nor do I claim to be, nor have I ever claimed to be. It's good enough for me. It looks nice, or I'm satisfied with it. Not a perfect thing. Okay, so I'm gonna open up my 3-in-1 glue. It's the first time it's been opened in a few days, so it's going to be hard to get off. So let me get a tool here and see if that helps me. I'm having some problems with my finger. I hope it's not arthritis setting in, but it could be. Oh, darn. There we go. I got it. Okay, I'm sure you guys have these problems, the same problems that I have at home. Only at least you're not on video and having everybody watch you. Okay, so I'm going to glue around these 3 sides on the back so that this becomes a pocket. I'm going to leave this side open. So what I do is I put my fingers on the side that's going to be open. And then, oops. Try to get it as close to the edge as you can, just so it gives you more room in the pocket. That's the deal. Okay, then I'm going to put this in here. This fabric tack does take a little bit of time to hold, so you want to wait for it to dry somewhat before you put anything in the pocket. You can kind of burnish it down with your hands, as opposed to the art glitter glue, which will immediately dry when you're using it on, like, say, paper to paper or fabric to paper. Okay, so I haven't decided what's going to go in here yet, but let me look through my. Now's the time I'm going to kind of open up my bag of ephemera that I prepared in the part 1 of this video, and maybe take out one of each thing to use in this journal. Wow, I got lots of stuff, don't I? Okay. Okay. Maybe the first thing I should look for is something to put in this pocket. I've made some tags. I think that's cool. And remember, this was the back of a calendar that I had, an old calendar that was on sewing, a sewing calendar. So let's try that here for now. Here's our fabric flips. I might kind of want to try to turn my cover here and see what colors might go with this book. There's a lavender one that would probably go. Actually, really any of these would probably go fine. But since I have that lavender one, I might use that. There's one that would also go. And if I don't have one that I don't think will go correctly, then I can make one. Let's see. I'm going to decide where I want this flip. And now on this, usually in a journal, you use a fabric flip to put over a page, and then so when you flip it up, then you have writing space here. But with a sewing book, I use them, I glue them down, and then I use them as an area to put pins or needles or whatever in there. So let's go ahead and glue that one down. This video is going to be the usual length, which is about 25 minutes. And then I'll probably continue working on these sewing books for the next week or so, and then I'll show you the finished ones before I put them in my shop. Okay, that looks nice. I could put something up here if I want. I could put a piece of lace over there, but I kind of like that. I think that looks fine that way. So let's see what else we got. We can just keep going along with our ephemera. Okay, we have a tag. I'm going to put these to the side to use in my other books. This could be a nice pocket. Let me see if it fits. Actually, it fits on this page pretty well. I'm going to put that one on on that page. I'm going to use it for a pocket. Okay, I've got my fingers on the area I don't want to glue. And with each book there will come, if you purchase one from me, or if you make one yourself, you'll want to put, I have a pair of scissors in mine, some buttons, of course needles, pins, safety pins, some thread, just kind of the average things that you would keep in your needle book. Okay, and then I'll just take a wet wipe and kind of burnish it down. Make sure I don't get that too far into the, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the page and kind of slip it down a little bit. I don't want to leave it like that because it might glue it to the other page, because the glue's not quite dry yet. But I'll show you with the scissors. What's the scissors for these books? There they are. Let's see what colors I've got. I think I'll use a black one in that pocket. Okay, these are just some little scissors that I purchased online to go with the books, and they have like a little clip on the end, and basically they're just made for clipping thread. Okay, and those will fit in there. If I want to, I could probably tie around a little piece of, let's see, would that go? That goes okay. A little piece of ribbon around the scissors. Okay, like so. Just makes them a little bit more decorative. And it gives you something to hold on to when you're pulling them in and out of the pocket. Okay, and this, the pocket is glued down there pretty well, so I'll go ahead and turn the page. Or I can turn back to here if I want. Okay, so I got one of those tags in there. Okay, this one, these tags that I made. That's pretty. That one goes good. I like that one. I'm going to put that tag in there. This has space on here too if you want to write some notes. Speaking of writing notes, I have put some notebooks, a notebook into each. Here's the little notebooks that we made. We made these the first. So I'll just select one for this book. And the way I'll do this, most likely, is I'll put a pocket. I'll put a pocket on here, and then I'll put this in to the pocket. So I'm going to maybe go back here Go here. Let's see, what do I want to pocket out of? Probably just paper. I could use, basically I can use any kind of paper. I kind of like this. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this. If you want it real straight, then you know how to do that. I'm kind of like Tina sometimes, and Tina is shabby dabby doodah, and she doesn't measure anything. I mean, nothing. I'm kind of in between her and somebody that measures everything. I'm kind of in the middle. I sometimes measure, sometimes not. Okay, let's see. My little pencil here, so I know about where I want to make this cut. Okay, and I think I'll put this here. If I wanted to, I could go around the edges with my I need some more ink. And ink the edges. Just makes it look a little more finished. Oops, kind of got too much on there. So what I think I'll do is, since it has so much white, is I'll just kind of go gently on the inside part of this to blend it all in together. There we go. I could put a little divot in here, but I don't think I will, because I'm gonna, well, first I should probably make sure this fits in this pocket, which it doesn't. See how close that is? That's way too close. I don't think that will work. So after all of that, I think I am gonna glue this down as a pocket. It's just I'll find another spot. In the back here. Yeah, I kind of like it in the back. So we'll have we'll use this as a pocket, but it's not big enough to put the notepad in. I think actually what I'll do, I'll put it here, thinking that that back page is wider, so it will take a wider pocket. So I'll put a wider pocket on that back page for the little notepad. There we go. Okay. So we'll keep going. And like I said, next time I'll come back and I'll show you some of the finished. And I hope, let's just go a little longer on this one, since I had to join them anyway. Let's see. I'm looking over here to the side of my work table where I have some extra paper to use for pockets. There we go. Oops. And this time I'm going to actually measure it, and yes, that will be plenty of room. But like you saw, I was able to fit it into another page very easily, so it's not like it was lost. Okay, since that other one is green and it has the edging around it, I'm also going to ink around this edge on this one. So that kind of matches throughout the book, will be the same. As I said when I was making these little notepads, these are great to have in your sewing book, where you can jot down ideas, or maybe you're out of a certain supply and you need to purchase something. You can jot that down, a list of supplies that you'll be needing. And then the next time you go to the fabric store or wherever, or order online, then you'll know what you need. Of course, that sometimes works for me. Sometimes I get home and I go, uh-oh, I forgot that. And you know what I mean. Okay, so basically the way I'll put this in is I can either put the whole thing in the envelope, or in this case I'm just going to put one page in so that it hangs over the pocket. There we go. Okay. So then see these two pockets match. One is green, both are green and kind of inked on the edges. I'm just kind of moving this up and down because I want to make sure I don't glue it in there. And these pages in the notebook aren't perforated, but I did kind of score them. So if you do want to write something on there and then take it out, you can. Okay, and then you'll have a page where you'll want buttons. And I made little packets of buttons to put in each book. Just extra buttons that you could use in your book. A lot of times when I buy like especially a blouse, and it comes with an extra button, then this would be a good place to have one of these little plastic bags in your sewing book to put. And really, you could use any plastic bags that would be the appropriate size for the book. To put extra buttons in there that you might need for mending your clothes. And you got your thread around kind of a decorative little piece of, this is just a piece of that old calendar that I had. And I made one of these little thread things for each book that I'm making. What other ephemera do we have? Oh, here we go. I have some, will this blue one go with this book? I think it will. Yeah, it's pretty. Okay, so let's put that down now. Let's put that down this page. Just put it down. I'm going to just kind of put it down the side here. And then since this is the button page, then I might put a few buttons on there as well. So let me see where I'm going to cut this off. About here. have made some also in the muslin color. So I'll put down a line of glue down the middle of this. I'm just going to pick it up at each end. You can, if you want it to be, decorative, you can glue it right up to the edge, to this edge here, and that way it would act as a ruffle that would stick out on your page, and that would be pretty as well. Then after this dries, if you wanted to, if it was on a different page besides the button page, you could put pins and needles right through here as a way of keeping them in your book. Usually the way I put this on is I just use a safety pin and pin it on so that I can take the little bag off of there and use it. I could put a piece of lace bag behind here, which I think I will do. And then I can pin the buttons on. Go. It's a little bit uneven. Let me see if I can get it better. There we go. Okay, and then like I said, I'll probably put some buttons along here. And for that, I'll use my, this is my little, where I keep my buttons. And I have a little sack of buttons in here that still have the thread on them. And the reason those are cool is you can glue them down to your journals, really basically anything you're working on where you want a button. And then after they're glued down by magic, they look like they're sewn down. Or you could be real industrious and actually sew them down. But if you do sew them down, I'd sew them before you glue down this piece. And then that way they wouldn't show on the back of here. Let's see what else I've got. Wow, got lots of them. That actually doesn't have any. Let's put that back in the pile. Okay, here's kind of a cool one. This one's cool also. This is kind of clear button. Okay, so I think that's enough for now on the buttons. Sometimes you have to clean off. Make sure you keep this nozzle clean so you don't have as much trouble opening it as I did this last time. Okay, so that's kind of how the button page usually looks. I I hope you can join me on my next video. And I'm not sure what the next one will be, but there will be another one on the sewing books where, like I said, I will show you the finished sewing books and before I put them in my Etsy shop. So if you do see one that you like and you're thinking, oh, I'd like to have that one, then let me know which one it is, and when I put them in the Etsy shop, I'll let you know right away. So, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate all of you watching my videos and your patronage on my Etsy shop as well. I do have a thank you button on the YouTube page that if anyone feels like they want to kind of help me out monetarily in operating my YouTube channel, then they can press the button for a little donation, and I'd appreciate that very much. I appreciate all you joining me. Peace of mind. Bye for now.